Hey, it's Etan, and I'm here at the LA County Arboretum in front of the Queen Anne Cottage from 1885. Now, there's no shortage of fancy Victorian homes to admire in Los Angeles, but I can't think of another one that's in a setting quite as idyllic and beautiful as this. I mean, just look around us. There's a lake right over there. There's all kinds of grass and trees and geese honking in the background. It is absurdly beautiful. Now, the lake over there is called Baldwin Lake, and the street that you go down to enter the Arboretum is Baldwin Avenue. So, who is this Baldwin character? It was all named after Elias Baldwin, otherwise known as Lucky Baldwin. And he was a businessman, investor, real estate speculator back in the second half of the 19th century in Los Angeles. He owned an absurd amount of land. So estimates go up to 63,000 acres, stretching all the way from West LA to present-day Monrovia. The center of his operations was Rancho Santa Anita, where the Arboretum is today. He bought it in 1875 and turned it into a highly profitable enterprise. So he grew oranges and lemons, he had walnut trees and almond trees, he grew alfalfa and wheat, raised cattle and pigs and sheep, and also raised horses, hundreds of them. He had a lot of prize-winning thoroughbred horses, and he even built his own racetrack just east of here, very close to where the Santa Anita racetrack is today. Baldwin was also what we might call a complicated figure. So he was known for his business prowess, but he was also a womanizer. So he was married 4 times, had plenty of non-marital relationships, and he was actually shot twice by jilted lovers, or in one of the cases, the sister of one of his jilted lovers. The Queen Anne Cottage behind us was built in 1885 for Lucky Baldwin and his 4th wife, a 16-year-old named Lily Bennett. So they moved in a year after they got married. The architect was Lily Bennett's dad, Albert Bennett, who was actually the state architect of California for a while. Bennett was known for his neoclassical courthouses up in Northern California, and this is exactly the opposite. It is not stately, even for a building in the Stick East Lake subvariant of the Queen Anne style, known for fanciful decorations. This one is just extra whimsical. So look at all that floofy gingerbread ornamentation and the filigree all over the house. It's what you might call a belvedere, a summer house that's really there for viewing the gardens and being viewed from the gardens. It had bedrooms and sitting rooms and a bathroom, but no kitchen. They got their food from elsewhere. Still, it was a really well-appointed house, so it had black walnut wood trim and marble mantelpieces on the fireplaces, a mosaic on the floor, and there was also all of this fine stained glass, including a portrait of his 3rd wife, Jenny Dexter, who died of tuberculosis in 1881 before this house was built. Now, I want to believe that that stained glass portrait of his 3rd wife was installed after his 4th wife, Lily Bennett, left him after just about a year of their marriage together. Now, Lucky Baldwin turned the cottage into the guest house towards the end of the 19th century. After his death, his daughter Anita closed the cottage and removed all of the detachable stuff, the stained glass, the hardware, the marble pieces. All that stuff was reinstated when the cottage was restored in 1952 and reopened to the public. Now, along with the cottage, there's also a coach barn, also designed by Albert Bennett. And this was for all the horses and carriages that the Baldwins would use in their day-to-day activities. There's a cupola up at the top, which is where the horsemen would stay. And it had a lot of the same detailing as the main cottage. Certainly the fanciest carriage house I've ever seen. Now, over a century after his death, Lucky Baldwin still looms large over Los Angeles. We have streets and neighborhoods and a horse race named after him. There's even a trio of pubs named after him in Pasadena and Sierra Madre. This cottage and the coach barn are 2 of the only remnants that we have connecting us to his actual life. And they're pretty fun as architecture, too. Thanks for doing LA with me.